But I think you're really interesting because you're different from a lot of automation people and AI people. It's funny because they are different, but you're now sort of both. You have to sort of be both. You can't just be automation or AI. You got to be both. But what makes you different though is that you have been inside the inner workings of a law firm and help build the systems and processes, which makes you substantially different. I will say because you have to understand how the legal space works. You really do have to have a understanding of the inner workings. And with that, what are some of those basic maybe AI agent workflows or workflows in general or automations in general that you think that law firms should have? Like every law firm should have them.
Every law firm is a tough question just because I feel like, again, at different stages of your growth, you will need different things, right? And that's
I
why
knew
that's
the
the
moment I
toughest
said
part.
every law firm, you did every law firm max, but okay.
It's like if you are a solo team, like what you need, you don't need Clio. Like you need to hire your next paralegal, your first paralegal, right? You need that, and you can work on an Excel. That's fine, right? When you're three, okay, get a case management system, right? So I can talk about like it's a few major things we are working on if that's helpful.
Yeah, I think so. Let's hear that.
Okay, so I mean, obviously, one that we've been talking about now, especially relevant now, is I would say just AI adoption. Making sure that your team not building some crazy AI workflows, which there's a place for that again once you've covered the basics, but actually making sure that each one of your team members adopts this technology, is comfortable with it, and uses on a daily basis, right? That is really where the power comes, and that's why I feel like where a lot of these legal AI vendors ultimately fall short is because they provide this great tool, they do a few onboarding sessions, and then that's it, right? What we found is even if we do group sessions, we still need to jump one-on-one or at least department level with our clients and actually walk people through, make them feel comfortable with the technology, try out a few things with them to get the ball rolling, and then to check in on a periodic basis. So AI adoption would be one thing. Another big one for growing firms is actually analytics, right? I think a lot of case management and CRM systems in the legal space don't do an amazing job at providing great analytics. Things like, for example, in your case management systems, on average, how fast are cases progressing from stage to stage, right? If you're growing your firm, I would love to know the information to understand where are the bottlenecks. And are the bottlenecks due to, let's say, the client not providing information, to the defense being too slow, or is it actually an internal holdup that I can solve for, right? That's critical information. I need to be able to make the decision. Things like, for example, especially if you're working in PI, one thing that struck me is that a lot of firms, even somewhat substantially large firms, don't have proper financial forecasting and analytics, right? So understanding when is cash flow coming in, making sure that data is synced to your case management system where you have, let's say, projected settlement values, right? Understanding how much is coming in every month to in the future to be able to make a hard decision, for example, right? Not only that, but also actually understanding how much value is your team generating every month. Because obviously in PI, like you start working on the case, you invest essentially for 9 months into your team doing the work, but then you only see the result. If you look at your books and you're growing fast, like you want to, like you will think that you are unprofitable, but it's not really the case, right? Because you're now building value for those future cases. And so having some kind of infrastructure to be able to, again, take the information from the case management system, it in aggregate, right, and display the nice analytics dashboard is very important. And obviously all the stuff on the CRM side of things like intake, speed to lead, obviously a lot of big things there. And then we would say, let's say optimizing your CRM and case management capabilities, right? A lot of firms are already using great tools, but they're not fully maximizing, right? Maybe you're not using conditional logic within your document templates and you have 200 templates sitting in your case management system where you could only just have 30, which obviously complicates maintenance and errors, whatever. Or maybe, for example, your case management system actually has the ability to apply task lists automatically when the case goes from one stage to another. Again, that's very useful. You can run analytics on those task completions later. You can make sure your SOP, you don't need that many SOPs because pretty much everything is in your case management system. CRM side of things, again, automation on that front, making sure that, again, data is properly organized and displayed within that. And then we would go into, let's say, more advanced stuff, such as creating custom automations with May.com, Zapier, those more advanced platform AI agents, etc., etc. But as you can see, there are like a lot of basic steps that there is more benefit to getting them right rather than immediately say jumping into the most advanced flashy workflow. Because if you don't have good data, if you don't have good processes, like that will not work.